Everybody loves saving money, right? But when it comes to selling your home, FSBO, what you don't know can seriously hurt you. Let me show you why that move could actually cost you not only thousands of dollars, your sanity, and maybe even a lawsuit. I'm about to let you know the secrets most FSBO sellers wish they knew before they started. And if you're not in the real estate world, you might not even know what FSBO means. That's FSBO, and that's okay. FSBO is an acronym, and it means for sale by owner. And it obviously means when an owner sells their home without an agent representing them. There are pros and cons to this strategy, so let me explain some of them in a completely unbiased way, if that's even possible. So it's just the facts as I see them from here on out. Let's start with the pros. The first and most obvious pro is the cost savings. When selling a home with an agent, you can typically expect to pay 3 to 6% in commissions. Depends on your listing agreement and how the buyer writes the offer. But when you sell FSBO, you'll only be responsible for the buyer's agent commission, assuming you're selling to someone who is represented by an agent and you have agreed to cooperate with said agent. This could significantly reduce what you owe in commissions come closing time. The second pro is that you'll have complete control over the sale. Essentially, the buck starts and stops with you. You'll have total control over the listing price, what improvements you make, and who you show it to. Now, to be honest, for the pros, that's a pretty short list. Most sellers just want to save the money when selling on their own, and the fact that they control every aspect of the process can be seen as a bonus in the beginning, but maybe not so much as the process unfolds. Now, let's talk about some cons. The first and most obvious con is a lack of pricing strategy. Because public access to market data is limited, homeowners have no clear way of knowing which homes are or aren't selling, and because closing prices are not required to be publicly disclosed, there's no precise way to compare one home value to another. Additionally, most individual sellers don't know how to properly market their home to attract the ideal buyer. Those are those most likely to want a home just like the sellers. Do you know your ideal buyer's profile? Do you know how to use social media to attract those buyers? Do you have a way to keep track of those buyers and follow up with them? Do you know how to qualify a buyer? How about being available to show your homes evenings and weekends? Even during the day. Anyway, I hope you get the point, and maybe I'm not unbiased after all. What can I say? Another con is lack of real estate knowledge, and this is a biggie. In any given real estate transaction, there can be upwards of 200 plus steps in the process, and all along the way, there are legal terms, acronyms, and other types of jargon that can be absolutely overwhelming, especially for the inexperienced seller. Escrows, contingencies, title, you'll need to know it all. And if you miss an important step or forget to sign a legal document, it can cost you thousands. Besides just the real estate jargon, you'll need to understand the ins and outs of the lending world. One more con on this list is the complete control you have. And yeah, I know I listed that as a pro above, but most sellers come to realize that it is actually a con after they start. You're responsible for every single step of the process, and it takes a serious amount of time. Most people come to realize that the list of to-dos is dizzying, long, and it can almost feel like a full-time job once you get into it. And, well, that's because it is. Real estate transactions deal with huge sums of money and can often be messy and complicated. Been doing real estate for about 25 years now, and I can promise you that selling your house is indeed a full-time job. If you're up to the task, more power to you. If you'd like help, contact me and let's chat about your home's value. Oh, And if you're wondering whom you might be contacting, I'm Susan Roberts with Homes by Roberts Realty, brokered by EXP. And I'm the only AI certified agent in the Indianapolis area. If you'd like a copy of my guide, Is Selling FSBO Right for You? I'll put the link in the description below this video. My next to last con is that if you decide to sell on your own, make sure to have your lawyer on speed dial. You have increased your chance of getting sued exponentially, since we are now in such a litigious society. Even if you aren't in the wrong, it will probably take more dollars than you thought you saved by selling on your own just to defend a lawsuit. We real estate agents, however, have to carry errors and omissions insurance and honestly hope we never ever have to use it, but it's there if something does go horribly wrong. Likewise, we have access to our managing brokers who have access to the lawyers at the Indiana Association of Realtors, the IAR. If we have any questions, plus the IAR supplies us with the latest legal forms. Most home sellers have enough on their plate just getting their home ready to sell without keeping up with all the legal nuances. My last con goes back to my first pro. Confused, right? Well, it's simply that many buyers figure that the seller is saving so much money that the price of the home should be lowered. It's a catch-22 for sure. Don't forget to get a copy of my guide, Is Selling FSBO Right for You?